Let me tell you of the days of high adventure.
Hello, everybody. This is Kevin, and you're listening to another episode of 6 Degrees of Schwarzenegger, the podcast where we're taking a long, hard look at some of our favorite action movies from the era of Arnold. And I am joined by a new partner here, John Arnold.
Hey, what's up, you guys?
John and I go way back to college, freshmen, strangers to each other.
Long time ago.
Yeah, nearly 20 years.
In a galaxy. Far away.
So I'm so stoked. We've taken the show to Houston for this session.
Yes, hello everyone from H-Town.
And we are here to talk about a movie that is, I feel like if we had a movie that that encapsulated our friendship, our relationship with each other, it's this one. I want to let you say that. I'm going to let you say what it is.
I hope you guys are ready, because today we're talking about Bloodsport.
Yes.
A classic.
The classic 1987 Van Damme vehicle, star-making vehicle.
Yeah, the first out of the gate. What was your first exposure to this movie?
I'm sure it was seeing it on like a TBS or whatever cable movie channel. Yeah.
I was remembering my earliest exposure to this and thought that it must have been TBS, but as I remembered it, I remembered my mom and dad dropping my brother off at my grandmother's house on the weekends, and we'd be sitting there like after breakfast, and she'd pop in Bloodsport on her VHS.
When I was left with grandmom's, we were watching like Annie or Benji or Swiss Family Robinson.
My Jimmy Sue, R.I.P., had a thing for Jean-Claude.
She admired his physique.
She did. She would point out how much more ripped he was than everyone else in the movie. It was spectacular.
Did she like the splits?
She was a big fan. She was a big fan. She saw the sex appeal right away.
So I swear in college we had to watch this movie once a week.
At least once a week.
And quoting heavily all week long, right?
Constantly.
Getting on other roommates' nerves, I'm sure.
Absolutely. You had no choice. You either had to play along or be completely annoyed at all times.
So what are we sipping on here to paint the picture?
We're having some Woodford Reserve double oaked.
It's delicious.
Nasty. Yeah, it is they refer to it at the distillery as their dessert bourbon. So if you're at home, we raise our glasses to you,
yes.
Salute you with some Woodford Double Oaked. We encourage you to run now to your liquor cabinet or refrigerator and grab your favorite libation.
Grab something, please.
And then you're gonna need it, and then prepare for the mayhem and the carnage.
Yeah, this movie is awesome, awesomely bad, but also just flat out awesome.
Yeah. And if you need to yell Matei, we understand.
So this sucker opens up with what aerials of Hong Kong, like stock footage, right? Clearly,
that's right.
Very grainy stock footage.
We see Hong Kong, we see Victoria Harbor, we see Kowloon Bay,
which you've actually been before.
Yes, it was surreal being in Hong Kong the year that I met you, and walking around Kowloon and wondering if everyone else was feeling the same sense of nostalgia and amazement that I was, but no one else. I was like, has anyone in this group seen Bloodsport? And no one had.
Who were you with?
Shocked. Church people.
Okay.
Fucking church people.
All right. You know what's stunning is Van Damme got top billing, like pre-title billing on this movie, and he'd never starred in anything before.
The backstory of how he was even discovered for this is phenomenal. And so you see a young Van Damme who'd been languishing in Hollywood for 5 years as like a pizza delivery guy and a waiter.
Or dancing in the background of Breakin' 2 or Breakin' whatever.
I feel like I haven't done proper research. I need to go watch.
And he was in an awful karate flick called No Retreat, No Surrender, which is kind of like a Karate Kid knockoff, just about. But he was like the evil Russian bad guy. But I don't think he ever got to speak.
So this is how you get your career made. You run up to a movie producer and you say, "Hey, guy," and you do
check this out.
a flying roundhouse kick above his head, and you get signed to your first major motion picture.
He's like, yes, we're going to make you famous.
You've
kid.
got the stuff.
You've got the touch.
The rest is history.
But yeah, that is wacky.
Yeah.
And yeah, it seems like he just got the part through like sheer bravado.
Yeah. No one believed in himself more than Van Damme.
There were also these crazy stories like this would have been, I guess, after the filming of this movie, but that Van Damme was originally cast to be the original Predator. In Predator, like he was going to be the guy in the suit.
Interesting.
Much smaller guy than the Predator actually wound up being. And there are a million stories, but he also had a similar story where he was just all the time trying to show people his karate moves, like the kicks and the splits and stuff, and wanted Predator to do that. And they were like, yeah, no, that's not going to happen.
It's not this kind of alien.
And he got shit canned from that gig. But that would have been post this movie filming, but before this movie came out, probably. Right. Yeah. And directed by Newt Arnold.
No, definitely no relation, but we'll refer to him as Uncle Newt throughout.
So we're looking at like the Korukai boys setting up for the Kumite.
That's right.
Which I did like Google Translate. That does mean like Black Dragon Society. That's pretty cool. Sounds awesome as well.
Yep. Newt Arnold, fun fact, was the guy in the shower scene in Goonies where the Goonies mess up the town's water system and the guy's staring at the faucet in bewilderment as the water's going crazy. Just so you guys know, that's Uncle
nuts.
Newt.
I haven't seen Goonies enough to even like close my eyes and picture the scene. But yeah. Then we got like the awesome first montage of the movie, like the various fighters and their training. Chong Li is like breaking ice, and it's fucking badass.
It is.
The ice is just like exploding, right?
And then we just see a litany of probably inspirations for Street Fighter characters.
There's like, yeah, it's like every fighting type you can imagine. There's sumo guy. Then there's like monkey style guy, like cracking coconuts on a tree limb.
Euro trash guy with his manservant looking on, grinning surreptitiously.
I know, it just flying through boards. Then there's the Brazilian guy. I guess he seems Paradise.
Yeah. Brazilian jungle fight guy.
Who is Van Damme's good friend? I don't know if it's Michelle or Michael.
Yeah, probably Michelle.
Kesey, who played Tong Po in Kickboxer.
Which is crazy to me, but I guess now going back and thinking about it, I can see like that horrible facial prosthetic.
Yeah. It's really weird.
It's terrible.
And then he was in Lionheart as well as like one of the French Foreign Legion military policemen.
That's right.
Which very similar to this movie, that one.
Very.
If you think about it. Then we get Ray Jackson, the American,
played by Revenge of the Nerds star Donald Gibb.
Yeah, he's like pretty great, but there's no discernible technique.
No.
He's just pounding a heavy bag.
He is what a video game would refer to as a brawler.
And his buddy, who's like even more schlubby than he is, comes and is like, "You really going to Hong Kong? You can get killed in that." And
only if you fuck up.
Yeah, he's like, yeah, I need some more scars on my face.
Well, it's a tight, very tight, like second long bit of exposition.
Yeah.
You're going to Hong Kong, you're fighting in something called a kumite, and you can get killed. So the whole premise of the movie has been outlined by this schlub getting worked up at the heavy bag.
This movie is like nothing if not economical. Like it keeps it moving. It's a good thing for a movie like this. You don't want it to be 2 hours long.
No, we are clocking in at like under 1 hour and 40 minutes.
Yeah, for sure.
It could have been much shorter.
Then we go to meet Frank Dukes training in the military gym. Like he's kicking a speed bag.
Like you do.
Was he wearing like a unitard?
Yeah, something like I'm sure it was Army issued unitard.
Army issued.
When he's approached by corporate terrible acting.
Yeah, like just this horrible corporal.
Sir,
excuse me, sir.
Sorry to interrupt.
No facial expressions on this guy. He's like a mask. It's just such bad acting. Then he's like, well, let me go he's like, I got to take you to see the colonel.
Colonel Cook would like to see you before you head out on furlough.
He's like, okay, well, let me go grab a shower first. And the guy's like, well, I'll just have to wait and watch. He was like...
He's kinky like that.
But then he just lets him go, of course.
All I could think was, props to Van Damme for learning English during this whole part. I'm just like...
It's been a struggle.
It's not great acting, but he learned English. So
Yeah, I guess they're in the showers for I don't know how long, and the corporal starts getting suspicious, I suppose, and calling out for him. Then he pokes his head in, and the shower's empty, of course. I guess he went butt naked, like out a window.
One presumes.
Or
I like
maybe
to think
with a
about
towel.
It. Yeah.
You like to
he was
think
pulling
about
up
it?
some red whitey tighties as he's running out running out of the
Yes.
barracks.
He never goes far without his briefs. So, what? Corporal Man goes to the general or the colonel.
Corporal Terrible Actor runs into Colonel Cook and informs him that Dukes is nowhere to be found, and the colonel says, "Put Helmer and Rollins on it right away, and don't show up until you found him." And
Well, I don't know if Colonel Cook said it or if the guy who dubbed Colonel Cook's voice said it, because this was some of
true.
the worst vocal dubbing I've seen. Our speculation, right, was that the movie is filmed in Hong Kong, so
Right.
this might have not been an American, just a white guy.
yeah, he could have been some Brit or something with a thick.
And they're like,
accent.
just say
They're
it,
like-
we'll dub it later, or yeah, Dutch or
they're
whatever.
They're like, at this point, we can't have two Americans with thick foreign accents.
Being our American Army guys. But yeah, so maybe just had like a high-pitched squeaky, like Mickey Mouse voice or something. But
Any number of things.
either way, yeah, they sick some military police guys on finding Dukes. Dukes goes to the first place he would go, and the first place that the military police should find him, which is his old Shidoshi Tanaka's house.
Shinzo Tanaka.
Yeah, he meets Tanaka's wife, who we get the impression Tanaka's like ill. He's resting or whatever.
Right.
There's a super, super awkward hug
Oh man.
between Van Damme and it's like that ass out hug.
Well, for anyone that's ever acted in a show of any kind or done any bit of theater, it's like when two people are looking each other and you know someone's supposed to be doing something, but you're not sure who's supposed to instigate it, and then they finally hug, and it's like, oh, but it's the most awkward thing.
They
ever.
were like purposefully holding their faces, like keeping their faces away from touching, and I feel like it's probably like we'll mess up the makeup.
Yeah.
If our faces rub against each other, and we don't have time for that.
There's no time.
There's
no
never
time to
any
fix this.
time. Yeah, that's weird. She goes to, I guess, check on
Yeah,
Shinzo.
She goes to make sure that he is awake or capable of accepting visitors.
Put his clothes back on.
So she can dress him. Yes. He can see you now. And as she's leaving the room, Frank gets visual of that katana sword sitting on the mantle.
Yeah, which
Or not on the
triggers
mantle. I guess it's just on a piece of furniture, but anyway.
triggers like an epic flashback sequence in the movie.
Which someone on the internet claims is the longest flashback ever. We're calling bullshit on that. We didn't have time to fact check
Yeah,
that. But
what
we're-
was it, like 10 minutes or something?
Yeah, I think whoever it was like 10 minutes and 54 seconds of uninterrupted flashback, and I just don't think that's...
Which we're thinking like, I mean, my first thought was Citizen Kane, where the whole movie basically is a flashback.
Exactly. Or Godfather 2, where 50% of the movie is...
Yeah. So I don't see where or how they get that, or where they would verify where they'd get that from. I don't buy that. Yeah, so we flash back to some rowdy teens like sneaking into, well, they're looking through the window,
Sneaking
right?
through an open window.
And they're like, "Oh, look at the sword." So they come in, the ringleader like gives this big conspicuous sort of waving motion.
Rugby shirt kid.
Yeah, come on in, guys. They go in there. They want to just play with the sword, I guess.
No, man, the one kid says, "Are you going
Were
to
they
grab
gonna
something or not?" I think that they
were
were
gonna
they
steal
were
it?
out for loot. And,
Okay.
and then Frank enters the house wearing every Giants sports paraphernalia that he could find at home.
It was a San Francisco Giants hat with the New York Giants jersey on.
Brilliant.
And we're just like, this is probably just what they found. I think the whole movie was maybe done in Hong Kong. I wonder if some of this was done in America.
I don't know. Also the number on the front of the jersey, of the football jersey, did not match the numbers that were on the sleeves.
Really?
Yeah. It's like
awesome.
the number on the front of the jersey is like 65, and there's only a number 5
So
on
that
the
does
sleeve.
seem like the knockoff
Yeah.
stuff you would find in Hong Kong.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay.
Surprise Giants was spelled correctly, but
And they're like looting the place, I guess, then, and they hear someone entering the house. So the two smart ones run off.
yeah, they drop the sword and
And they're
the
like, "Come on,
sheath.
Frank, let's go." Dumbass Frank.
Frank is too polite a kid and is trying to set things back where they go.
Yeah, it's like I can't.
Why
He's
wouldn't you just
just
run?
too stupid to run. And I want to say like young Frank could not look less like Jean-Claude Van Damme.
Yeah, that must have been someone's son. Maybe that's a good point. I didn't even think about that. Maybe that was like...
I think they just found some kid with a French accent and were like, you'll do. Totally. I don't think he didn't even seem to be an actor either. Yeah. It just seemed like your voice sounds the closest to Van Damme's voice.
Right.
Would you have been more offended if it was a dude with no accent at all playing young Frank?
I mean, he has so few lines, but I mean...
I wasn't going to steal it.
It all sort of works out oddly in this movie's weird way. It's okay.
You know what would have been bad? Is if young Frank had been a really good actor, and then you switch to Van Damme, and you're like, what happened? He used to be able to act.
He was such a natural, and he grew right out of it. Oh, my God.
Like Haley Joel Osment or something. But, so, young Tanaka comes in and beats the shit out of Frank Dukes.
Tanaka Sr. runs in and sinks his dog on Frank.
He came in and just gut kicked
him. With his ass, son.
He gut kicked him, dropped him, and then was like ready to give him some more, and Dad called him off a little bit.
Sent him to do his homework. That's enough, Shingo.
I also like that like real life Frank Dukes is very offended by this portrayal.
Yes. When asked about this portrayal, if this is actually the way that it went down, he's like, "Oh God, I almost got into a fight with the screenwriter about this. It's so disrespectful."
All of Frank's stories end with him almost beating somebody up.
Yes, he's always almost beating someone up, and the details of the story as told in the film or wherever else are not quite what he explained to someone, because everything he's ever said is a lie. We should also mention that this movie is based on the completely preposterous and utterly false life of Frank W. Dukes.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like we're gonna get to that in depth later, but yeah, I just put that together. I think it's great that every great story he's got ends with him almost having to fight somebody.
And then people
but then the other guy chickens out.
Like, you're crazy, Frank. You're crazy. And like backs out.
You're crazy. All right, you win.
And I guess we get a glimpse of that insanity when Tanaka uses the katana sword to cut the bill off Frank's hat, teenage Frank's hat, and there's no flinching.
Like, he could have accidentally killed Frank pretty easily, right?
Well, he's a trained ninja, I guess.
But like Frank could have leaned in or something, you know?
Yeah, like what? Yeah,
he could have cut his face off.
Gonna do. But my grandmother. I asked my grandmother over and over again. This is hysterical. Asking my grandmother, why didn't he flinch? I would have flinched, and she said, well, his reflexes are so good. And I was like, I feel like that means he should have flinched.
Right, his reflexes are so bad.
What you're saying? I'm 7 years old, and I'm still like, I don't buy this, Grandma.
I think also, Tanaka's like, maybe we can make some kind of deal, which. And then, young Frank's like,
sex slave.
What kind of deal or whatever? It does sound like it could turn sexual pretty fast.
The cutscene was a gag ball next. But
so then we got Tanaka talking with Frank Dukes' parents in a very sort of awkwardly forced analogy about, like, I raise fish, you raise grapes, but we both raise sons.
Yeah, there's a lot of foreigners talking to each other about things, and they're like, what? No one knows what's happening.
This script kind of feels like it was translated into another language and then translated back into English.
Yeah, it sort of sounds like they read it through the Google Translate.
Yeah, and then translate it to Spanish, then translate it back to English, and we'll see what we got. But yeah, somehow, and then totally, Dukes' parents fully on board.
Yeah.
Turn your son over to this strange guy.
Yeah, we'll let your son kick the shit out of our son. That's fine. That's absolutely fine.
We get to the training, and it is basically young Tanaka just beating Frank up.
Shingo is letting Frank have it. Like, has him on the ground in a hold, and then still just decks him in the face while he's down on the ground.
And then I feel like Tanaka's like, okay, that's enough for today. And then Frank's like, no, it's not.
He hasn't had enough.
He's like, why are you training him but not me? Which is a fair point.
It is a fair point.
He's like just being his punching bag, right? But
then we fast forward a little bit more, and I think that maybe Tanaka was impressed by that, but we fast forward to a schoolyard beatdown, and it appears that Shingo's been ganged up on.
I feel like a couple more rugby shirt guys are beaten up.
Maybe the same rugby shirt guys.
It could have been his old friends.
Yeah. I was thinking that kind of would make sense for Frank to now be on the side of the underdog in that situation, but Frank runs in and like whips ass.
Which is weird. I thought that so we have established that young Tanaka can handle Frank all day long.
Right.
But these two guys are beating him up, and then Frank comes in and beats them up. So now I've lost track of the hierarchy of who's the best fighters in the schoolyard.
Well, maybe Frank was catching up rapidly. Maybe he's a fast learner because of that fighting spirit that we saw earlier.
Yeah.
And also Shingo was jumped in the schoolyard by 2 bullies.
That's true. He could have been jumped. Yeah.
Whose bike did they leave on the ground when they're walking off?
Did they just walk off and leave one?
Well, we get some more. We can't forget the exposition. Shingo says as Frank walks up to help.
Oh yes.
One day
I'm gonna fight in the Kumite and make my father proud. And it's like, okay.
All right. Bye. Let's go home, I guess.
Which, cut to, no, you're not, Shingo.
Spoiler, Shingo died. And it's never really explained.
Tanaka's very distraught. Yeah, it's never explained.
It's his only son from presumably a second marriage?
Yeah, he definitely goes into that. So, a couple of theories. My first instinct is that Shingo got mixed up in some bad business and, like, doing drugs and stuff.
Right.
But, like, I've heard this theory before that he could have been in an earlier draft of the script or something. Maybe he was the guy who got killed by Chong Li at the previous Kumite. But they cut that storyline. I don't know.
A little bit, yeah.
But there's another movie that I would talk to you about a moment ago called Blood Fight. or it's also called sometimes Final Fight. But
it's a sweet video game.
But I think it's called Blood Fight, like on the title card of the movie. And it came out like year after Bloodsport. The plot is strikingly similar.
I'm shocked by that.
It's an international Kumite with guys fighting from all over the world, different styles.
Did they call it Kumite?
I don't know if it had a name. I don't remember. It's on Amazon Prime, or at least...
Sometimes I like to think that Frank made that word up.
It is, as of this recording. It's called Final Fight on Amazon Prime, but the title of the movie on the screen is called Blood Fight. It's got Bolo Young, who's the main bad guy in this.
Right.
Is the main bad guy in that.
Love
going by the name of Chang Li.
Oh, my God.
And in that movie...
No one's even trying.
In that movie, Chang Li kills the protege of the main hero of the film.
If you guys want to, we encourage you to hit pause, run to your nearest streaming device and watch Final Fight, and then
grab a six-pack,
and then come right back and pick up where you've left off, because this will be a good refresher.
He kills this guy, same neck-breaking move. Then he takes that guy's bandana and waves it around triumphantly. And later on in the Final Fight, he wears it tied around his waist.
Oh my God!
And
this came after Bloodsport.
It was definitely released after. It's got a later date on it, but I feel like they just took the movie and redid it. There's a sumo guy. There's a 7-foot tall Indian guy.
That's okay. Yeah.
In there.
I mean, American directors do that to Japanese films all the time, so I feel like it's fair game.
I also, though, it makes me wonder if they just sort of took a draft of the script where it's like, oh, well, it'll be the protege got killed and it's a revenge film rather than... Anyway, we just don't know what happened to Shingo. What was your theory?
Car wreck.
Car crash? Cancer?
Or the rugby shirt guy beat him up and killed him.
Hate crime.
That's right, hate crime.
Shit, it got grim.
I know it got dark, but...
I will say, this actor playing Tanaka, badass.
His name was Roy Chow, who you all at home may remember as Lao She from Indiana Jones and the Temple of Doom.
Fuck yes. When you called that out, I was like, that is why he's so familiar.
This Nurhachi's a really small guy.
Lao She. He's such a good actor. He's acting circles around Van Damme. Like, it almost brings a tear to your eye when he's talking about how his karate, is taught father to son and all that.
Yeah, but Van Damme's early 80s moosed up hair meant to convey a younger age makes up for the acting that's not happening during this heartfelt moment with Tanaka.
Different hairstyle, he's got to be younger.
Oh my God. He looks like a keyboard player for a new wave band.
It was really moosed up. It was tall. But yeah, dude, the emotion on that, awesome.
Yeah, well, I mean, to hear tonight, I was shocked to go back and listen to the full story, because I don't think I appreciated as like a preteen that Tanaka reveals that his entire family was wiped out by the original atom bomb fuck, that's rough.
Yeah.
And so he rebuilt his life in California with
Started another family.
yeah, and then now that legacy is gone too.
And now he's, I guess, too old to do it all again. But he's
One
like,
would
his
assume.
legacy is his.
Mama Tanaka is not looking.
Nah.
No, she's past the child rearing age.
She's barren.
yeah. Where no seed may find purchase on that rocky soil.
But it is like, yeah, like I guess his legacy is his martial arts, and he's like saying, you know, it dies with me, I guess, and
Yeah,
that's why Frank Dukes is like, you can train me, Shidoshi.
But you're not Japanese.
You are
Son
not a
of
Tanaka. And yeah, it's
You
like,
are neither family, nor are you Asian. Racist.
it is a little, and I think the way that he wins him over is like, well, let's do it to honor you.
Yeah.
And he's like, oh, okay, yeah, that sounds pretty good.
So it's either ego or
is he just really vain?
Frank, well, I think Frank is aware of the quickest way straight to a Japanese ninja's heart, and that is play the honor card.
True.
Yeah.
He seems really invested in his karate being on display at the Kumite.
Oh yeah. Well, it's the only way for that legacy to live on. So
I guess the real Frank Dukes claims that he was trained as a ninja, so I guess it's ninjitsu.
yes, we are looking at ninjitsu or whatever
Also,
that shapes
part of
up to be.
his crazy ass story was that he was trained by Tiger Tanaka, and then someone points out, you know, that's the name of the ninja trainer in a James Bond novel, and he's like, oh well, you know, those books were based on real life people. Like that's the card he played, was that he was trained by the guy who was the inspiration for the guy in the James Bond
Look,
book.
I mean, his ability in real life, Frank Duke's ability to think of a lie in real time is mind-numbing.
Unrivaled.
It is unbelievable.
He's got an answer for everything, and it's usually like some of them are not the smartest responses.
No.
Like,
He would
oh
set
yeah,
the Kumite record for fastest lie. Fastest lie told.
but now I also wonder, did Tanaka win the Kumite as a younger man?
I think that is implied
The
by
sword?
virtue of the katana sword, but it has to
Yeah.
be earned.
Okay, I like it.
And because all the Black Dragon guys, as we'll see later, they're aware of who he is. Like,
Yeah, they know
they're
his
aware.
legacy.
Yeah.
Yeah, good call. So now we go into a training montage.
Oh.
Every good movie's got to have a training montage.
That is correct.
Yes.
It gets you on the side of the hero. I read that recently. Is that every good movie worth its salt has
You're
a training
watching him like earn it.
Right. It's the same thing with Rocky. Same thing with
Karate Kid was like
Karate
all
Kid,
training.
The most recent because you're seeing people from a standpoint of they're a complete novice, they're a complete fuck up like you are at any
Mm-hmm.
given time with whatever career path you've chosen, and people are supposed to be able to identify with that because it's like they're not preternaturally born with that.
They're not already the best.
I wasn't born a ninja. I worked hard.
If you think about even like the Matrix movies, you get to see training.
Exactly.
Yeah, it's
Even though it happens on
unorthodox.
in quick time, as fast as a download.
So you get all the Jean-Claude Van Damme staples in this. Like there's splits, there's blindfold fighting,
Yeah.
him getting beaten with sticks.
Grabbing goldfish.
Was he wasn't blindfold grabbing goldfish, was he?
I don't think so,
No,
no.
okay, you couldn't do that.
No.
No one's that good.
Just grabbing goldfish was impressive enough.
The reflexes.
Yeah, and then we do get the blindfolded tea service.
Yes, there's blindfolded tea service. And then what? Tanaka tries to chop him in the face and
Well,
he catches it?
Yes, the blindfolded tea service karate chop block just kind of catches
Which it really impressed Mrs. Tanaka.
Oh yeah, she had a lady boner from that.
I think she's lusting after young Frank.
For young Frank. The student has become the teacher, so to speak.
So he's getting beaten with sticks. He's getting pulled apart in that like sort of rack.
Yeah, so I think that this is the whole. It's like a whole allusion to being able to separate your mind from your body. So the beating from sticks is like the beginning of that training, and then
It's like meditating while in pain.
And then once you graduate from being beaten and being able to stand that, you get drawn and quartered.
So he's being ripped apart basically by this device. We'll keep a count. That's Jean-Claude Van Damme split number 2 for the movie.
That's right.
But he sort of, he goes into like a meditation, like Zen state where he sort of zones out the pain and he's like pulls himself up, which really wows Tanaka.
Which in real life, Frank Dukes maintains was a real training technique that was used. Like he says,
I could see the whole trying to separate the pain
Oh, totally.
from your mental state for
Totally.
sure, right? And I guess the training is deemed a success because Tanaka gives him his katana.
That's right. There's a private ceremony in the Tanaka hatchery backyard.
Mrs. Tanaka not there.
Not invited.
It did look a lot just like a dirt lot.
Yeah.
Like there was it wasn't like Miyagi's backyard where it's all waterfalls and
beautiful, yeah.
bonsai trees.
Pristinely landscaped.
Yeah, this is like, but it was a long ass flashback. I'll say that was like
It holds a world record.
it was like not a quarter of the movie, but at least an eighth of the movie,
Yeah.
probably, right?
I think we can safely say 10 minutes.
10 minutes or so.
11 minutes.
And that'll be our stop-off point for this chapter of Bloodsport.
How did we get here so quickly?
But we'll be back because things are actually about to get really interesting once we arrive in Hong Kong. So hope you'll join us for the next chapter.
Okay, USA.
Body's ready, my heart's on